Hi and welcome. We are going to look at profit and loss, which is one of the applications of percentages as well. We will apply some percentages here. So kindly pay attention, take your book, your pen and your calculator so that we do this together. Okay. Yeah. So let's take the formula we'll be using here. Now, you should know that profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. Okay. For you to get a profit, your selling price, the amount you sell the product or wherever, should be more than the cost price so that you can get a profit. Okay. Yeah. So profit is equal to selling price minus what? Cost price. SP minus CP will give you P. Okay, profit. I hope you're clear with that. So that's what we've been writing. SP is equal to from there you can deduce also that selling price is equal to CP plus P, because when you make selling price a subject, okay, and you have your P here, when this negative CP comes here, it becomes positive CP. So selling price is equal to cost price plus profit. Okay, the amount you sell an item is equal to the cost price of that item plus your profit. I hope that's clear. And then cost price should be equal to selling price minus profit. From here, if you make cost price the subject by bringing it here to become positive, when you bring profit here, it becomes SP minus P. So CP is equal to SP minus P. You have to know that. We don't memorize this formula, okay? What you should know is, let's say the first one. If you know the first one, you can get the others. So profit is equal to selling price minus cost price. Or if you know this, selling price is equal to cost price plus profit. Is that clear? So that's what you should know. Also, there is something we call profit. Another way of getting profit is rate over 100 times cost price. If you've been given profit percent, okay, if you've been given profit in form of percentage, okay, if you've been given profit in form of percent, to find a profit, to be the rate times the cost price, not the selling price. Please take note of that. It should be what? Rate times cost price. Do you get it? So, and also, another formula for selling price is SP is equal to 100 plus the rate. Okay, if you've been given a rate, you only use these formulas when the rate is given. But when the question is straightforward, like they've given you profits, let's say 20 cedis, and that's when you use this kind of formulas. But when profit is given to you in form of percentage, like 10%, 20% in percentage, we use these formulas, okay, for selling price. So 100 plus R divided by 100 times cost price, okay. And if you want to find a cost price, it should be 100 over 100 plus R times SP. The reason is, when you use this formula, you make CP the subject. If you make CP the subject, this is what you end up getting. Try it out and see. You do that in substitution and change of subject. Then, percentage profit should be equal to selling price minus cost price, which is the profit. You know, selling price minus cost price gives you profit, divided by cost price times 100. That's what I've rewritten over here. Selling price minus cost price is P, okay, divided by CP times 100. Okay, that's percentage profit. So let's take, I hope you've taken a screenshot of this or you've written the formulas down. We take questions and you see how to solve them. Okay. So let's take example 1. Example 1 says, Amabel bought a shirt at 35 Ghana cedis and sold it at 50 Ghana cedis. Find a percentage profit. To find a percentage profit, when you recall the percentage profit formula, the formula says what? Profit over what? Cost price times 100. Is that not it? That's what the formula said, right? So to solve this, what will be the profit? He bought the shirt as what? At 35, right? 35, and he sold it 50. So his profit should be what? His profit should be 50 minus 35, and that gives you what? 15. So he made a profit of 15 Ghana cedis. So you substitute 15 cedis in place of P, and then it should be divided by cost price. Be very careful. So divide by cost price times 100. So this gives you what? 42.86%. So this means that she made a profit of 42.86%. if the question says find profit, profit is just 15 Ghana cedis, which is selling price minus cost price. But this question says you should find profit percent, not just the profit. Okay, profit percent. Okay, so hence the profit percent is what? 42. Before I go to example 2, take a look at something. You know the profit is what? 15, right? You see, you want to find profit percent. Okay, you want to find what? Profit percent, not profit itself. So it's important, don't forget. Always find profit, then you divide it by cost price and multiply it by 100. You will get a profit percent. I hope that's clear. Okay, so let's go to example 2. Example 2 says the cost of a wristwatch is $23. It was sold for $19. Find a profit or loss percent. Now take a look at something over here. Now, is it making a profit or a loss? Look at this. The cost of a wristwatch is $23. This is the cost price. And you sold it $19. Are you making a profit or a loss? That is a loss. You bought something $23 and you are selling it $19. That is a loss. Okay, it's not a profit. So the question just wants to confuse you. Find a profit or loss percent. It won't be profit percent, but it will rather be loss percent. So you choose by telling them that loss percent or percentage loss is equal to loss over CP times 100. Do you remember that profit percent is what? Profit over cost price times 100. So you use the same sense over here. Okay, loss over cost price times 100. So that gives you, what is the loss? You bought the thing $23 and you sold it $19, meaning you've made a loss of $4. So the loss is 4 over the cost price, which is 23 times 100. So that gives you 17.39%. So that's the loss percent. Okay, hence the loss percent or the percentage profit. That's a mistake. Okay, the percentage loss is 17.39%. I hope that's clear. So let's look at example 3. Example 3 says Jackie bought a phone at 2,200 Ghana cedis. If she expects to make a profit of 20%, you see that percentage profit has been given to you. What will be a selling price? Now, to find a selling price, do you remember the formula I gave to you that selling price is equal to 100 plus R divided by 100 times CP? We are using this formula because you've been given profit in percentage form. That's why we are using this formula. You can also use the other one, SP is equal to CP plus profit. But you have to, I'll show you how to use it. If you feel like using it for this question, I'll show you how to use it. So I'll come there. Now, SP is equal to 100 plus R divided by 100 times CP, isn't it? That's the constant formula for it. Okay. Now, what is R? R stands for the percentage profit. Okay. So, when you substitute it there, it was 20%, isn't it? Times, what was the cost price? She bought it at 2,200 Ghana cedis. So, this was the cost price. I hope you are following. So, this was the cost price, CP. So, we substitute it there as well. Then, this gives you what? 120 over 100 times 2,200. And that gives you 2,640 Ghana cedis. So, this is the selling price. Okay. 2,640 Ghana cedis. Let us see how to use this formula for it. To use this formula, we say selling price is equal to cost price plus profit, isn't it? Now, what's our cost price? Our cost price is 2,200, isn't it? Plus, now do you remember I gave you a formula like if you want to find profit, profit is equal to the rate of profit, which is R over 100, rate of profit times cost price times cost price. If you remember that formula, I gave you a formula like this. To find profit, profit is always equal to rate of profit, that's R over 100 times cost price. So if that is the case, let's put it inside bracket somewhere. Let's find profit. Profit will be what? 20 over 100, that's rate. Okay, rate is 20 over 100 times cost price, which is 2,200. 2,200. So let's find that. So we have 2,200 plus. Now, these two zeros can take away these two zeros. So when you do 20 times 22, 2 times 22 is 44, isn't it? And the remainder 1 0, you have 440. So you can use your calculator. 20 over 100 times 2,200 gives you what? 440. So 2,200 plus 440 gives you what? 2,640 Ghana cedis. So this is another way of solving it. Okay. Personally, I don't like memorizing things. I do not like memorizing formulas. I only find a way to understand it deeply, such that if you really understand this, you don't have to memorize the formula. You definitely find a way to solve it. Okay, you definitely find a way to solve it. So I don't memorize this formula when I was in secondary school or somewhere. I do not use this formula. I just write this and then I use like mind that okay, P is this, then I find it. Okay, but you can use this or this. Okay, so any one of them. Okay, but make sure you use it rightly. If you think this formula will confuse you, just use this. Okay, and make sure you know that profit is the rate of profit times the cost price. You should know that one as well. Are you following? So you can use either of them. I hope you are clear. So hence the selling price is 2,240 Ghana cedis. Okay, let's look at example 4 quickly. Example 4 says Maxwell sold an article for 7 Ghana cedis. So meaning this is the what? Selling price. SP. He sold it 7 Ghana cedis and made a profit of 18%. So we've been given the rate of what? Of profit. Find the cost price and the profit. So to find the cost price, remember I gave you this formula for cost price, isn't it? Now cost price is equal to 100 over 100 plus R times SP. Okay, and I told you we get this formula from SP's formula, which says SP is equal to 100 plus R over 100 times CP. If you make CP the subject, you get this. Okay, or yeah, that's what you get. Okay, so that's it. So we are using this formula and it gives you what? 100 over, what's the rate? The rate is 18, so that's 100 plus 18 times the selling price. The difference between this formula and the other formula is that the other formula says SP is equal to 100 plus R, 100 plus R over 100 times CP. That's totally different. Here, the denominator for this one is a numerator for this one. SP is equal to 100 plus R over 100 times CP. This is totally different. And this is also different. So be very careful. When you're finding CP, don't bring 100 plus R at the numerator. Be very, very careful. Okay. So, when you do that, you have 100 over 118 times 7. And that gives you what? 5.93. Okay, so that's the cost price. The cost price is 5.93. Another way of solving it is, you know that cost price is equal to selling price minus profit, isn't it? Selling price minus profit. Now let's assume cost price is X, which we don't know. So X. Okay. We don't know the cost price, we want to find it. So let's assume it is X. And then we know the selling price to be what? 7, isn't it? Minus. Now, how do you find profit? You know, profit is rate over 100. That's, let's say rate is 18 over 100. Okay. Times cost price. Do you remember the formula for profit? Is rate times cost price, which we don't know cost price. So that's what? 18 times X. 18 over 100 times X, isn't it? So that will give us X is equal to 7 minus. Now 18 over 100 times x gives you 18x over 100. 18x over 100. What we are aiming at is making x the subject. Do you get it? So if you multiply through by 100, 100 is the LCM, isn't it? So when you multiply through by 100, or when you bring this to 100, there are two ways of solving it. Let's bring this to 100. So let's bring this to x. Let's group like terms, okay? So we have x maintained, negative 18x over 100. When it comes here, it becomes what? Plus 18x over 100. Plus 18x over 100. No matter what you do, you still group like terms. Okay, is equal to 7. So x plus 18x over 100 can give you let's say 118x over 100. But if you think you don't know where that's coming from, what is the LCM? The LCM is 100. So what do? We multiply through by the LCM. So 100 times x gives you what? 100x. Plus 100 times 18x over 100 will give you 18x, because that 100 will cancel out the 100 at the denominator. So you have 18x. It's equal to 100 times 7 gives you what? 700, isn't it? So 100x plus 18x gives you what? 118x. X is your cost price, don't forget. It's equal to 700. So what do? We divide both sides by the coefficient of x, which is 118, isn't it? 118. So kindly take your calculator, do 700 divided by 118. What do you get? You realize that you get what? The same answer, which is 5.9322. Maybe you get 5.9322 something. Just approximate it to 2 decimal places, and that gives you 5.93 Ghana cedis. So you see that we get same answer for it. So that's another way of solving this as well. Okay, people see this one to be very complex and long, and they try to use this because it's just a straightforward formula. But personally, I usually do this. Okay, Okay, so you can use either of them that you find more easy and understandable. Okay, so now the question says we should find the cost price and the profit. So we know the cost price to be 5.93, right? So to get a profit is equal to selling price minus cost price, isn't it? So our selling price is 7 minus cost price, which is 5.93, and that gives us what? 1.09. I hope that's clear. So the profit is 1.09. Okay, another way of getting a profit is rate over 100 times CP. There are two ways of getting the profit. This is method 1, this is method 2. Okay, so the second method is rate over 100 times CP, which I always talk about. So what's the rate? 18 over 100 times the cost price. It will give you 1.0674, and in 2 decimal places it gives you what? 1.07. You see that we get same answer. So you can use either of them to find a profit. Okay, provided either of them is known. 2 decimal places means after the decimal point 1, 2, you check the number that follows the second decimal place. If that number is more than 4, you convert it to 1 and add it to the second decimal place. If it is not more than 4, you leave it as such. So because 7 is more than 4, we convert it to 1 and add it to this, so it becomes 1.07. I hope that's clear. So that is the end of this. Sorry, let's take this example from June 1997, and the question says the cost of production of a wireless set was 40 Ghana cedis. The manufacturer sold it to a wholesaler at a profit of 20%. The wholesaler also sold it to a retailer at a profit of 25%. The retailer marked the set to be sold at a price of 50% above what he paid for it. A. Find the marked price. B. To a customer who paid the cash, the retailer reduced the price to 75. Find a percentage discount. But my concern is the A. Okay. Now, mark price. Okay, let's find the mark price. Now, before we can do that, you should know that selling price is equal to what? 100 plus R divided by 100 times cost price, isn't it? Now, to the manufacturer, are you with me? They said the cost of production of a wireless set was 40. So to the manufacturer, if he wants to know his selling price, are you with me? If the manufacturer wants to know his selling price, since you know his cost price, are you with me? They said the manufacturer sold it to the wholesaler at a profit of 20%. So to the manufacturer, his profit percent was 20%, isn't it? So the selling price of the manufacturer should be 100 plus 20 divided by 100 times the cost price, his cost price. Because it costs the manufacturer 40 Ghana cedis to produce that. So when you do that, you get 48 Ghana cedis. So meaning the manufacturer will sell it 48 Ghana cedis. Are you with me? Now, if the manufacturer is selling it 48 Ghana cedis, meaning the wholesaler will buy it what? 48 Ghana cedis. So this 48 Ghana cedis, which was the selling price of the manufacturer, becomes the cost price of the wholesaler. You have to be very careful about that. Are you with me? The selling price of the manufacturer is 48 Ghana cedis. So that 48 Ghana cedis will become the cost price to the wholesaler, because the wholesaler will go and buy it at this price. So it becomes a cost price to him. Now, when we read further, they said the wholesaler also sold it to a retailer at a profit of 25%. So to find the selling price of the wholesaler also, okay, to find the selling price of the wholesaler, it should be what? 100 plus, he is selling it 25%, right? So 100 plus 25% over 100 times his cost price, which is 48. So that also gives you 60 Ghana cedis. Are you following? Now, the retailer marked the set to be sold at a profit of 50% above what he paid for it. Now, look at this. If this is the selling price of the wholesaler, then meaning the retailer too will buy it at the selling price of the retailer. So to the retailer, are you with me? To the retailer, his cost price will be 60 Ghana cedis. Because the wholesaler is selling it there. So his cost price will be what? 60 Ghana cedis. You can see this question in theory. So the selling price to the retailer should be what? 100 plus 50, which is 50% over 100 times 60 is selling his cost price, isn't it? So you have 150 over 100 times 60, which gives you what? 90 Ghana cedis. So meaning the retailer will sell it 90 Ghana cedis. Are you with me? So the mark price is what? 90 Ghana cedis. Mark price means the amount the retailer wants to sell it. Okay. The selling price of the retailer, the cataloged price, the price he has put it on board, to the consumer. Okay, the price the consumer will buy it, the final consumer buys it, is a marked price. Okay, so that's 90 Ghana cedis. Okay, so the marked price is what? 90 Ghana cedis. Question B is coming from one of the topics we've done in the past. It said to a customer who paid cash, the retailer reduced the price to 75 Ghana cedis. Okay, find the percentage discount. They said the retailer reduced the price to 75 Ghana cedis to a customer who paid cash. He's selling it 90 cedis. Are you getting it? And he reduced the price to 75. To find a percentage discount, let me say PD. It should be the discount given. What's the discount given? The difference between this and this. He is supposed to sell it 90 and he sold it to you 75. So meaning you've been given a discount of 90 minus 75, which is what? Which is 15. Is that it? Yeah. 15 over the original price. Okay. Discount given over the original price. What was the original price? The original price is 90. Okay. Times 100. Okay. So you get the percentage discount. Or times 100%. So kindly do that. Do 15 over 90 times 100. That gives you what? 15 over 90 itself is 1 over 6. And 1 over 6 times 100 is, that's 16.66% or 60.67%, right? So 16.67% in 2 decimal places. Okay. Yeah. So that is the end of this as well. Okay, 16.67%. You can check it out. That's 1,500. 15 times 100 is 1,500 divided by 90. Yeah. So that should give you 16.67%. So thank you for watching. Have a nice day.